Hello, adventurer. I'm your dungeon master, Leland Steele. Here's what happened last time on the Incorrigible party. The three of you leveled up to level 5.
Yay!
Woo!
Finally! Feels like
Yay.
feels like forever.
I mean, like I said, I'll be happy to go, I guess, try to help save this guy, you know.
You'll be
Falzaren.
happy, eh?
Yeah, but you understand why it has to be something in it for me, right?
You now are actually picking up like these kind of large 5-toed footprints that you can continue to track. Kind of northwestern. 5-toed, yeah, like as
I like that pun.
The
That's a good one.
five-toed toad.
5-toed toad. Well, even with Gozer's excellent roll, the source of the laughter, or to try to pinpoint some type of direction, is just indiscernible, and it's just kind of coursing all around you guys. So Thuff, ranging about 30 feet in front of you guys, kind of goes and he scoops up everything. Again, it's just like 3 more pearls and a yellow topaz, and he scoops them up. And as he touches the yellow topaz, you don't see anything come out of this one. And he just kind of takes them and runs them over to Gozer. As he's running with them over to Gozer, he gets about 10 feet from you, Bryn, and suddenly he's just lifted 30 feet into the air. Ah, King! And now, our adventure continues. Thup smashes into the ground and takes only 9 falling damage. That's not too bad off a 3d6. And he kind of gets up and pulls out both of his short swords and just tries to flail around him, swinging at some unseen attacker. Both attacks will miss as he's wildly, frantically swinging around.
Okay, I don't see anything, right?
You do not see any foe.
Alright, I'm gonna ready an action, and if I see anything, I'm going to attack it.
Okay. So now you see the stones of the cairn. They kind of just levitate, and one of them shoots out and flies at Bryn, only with a 7 to hit.
Misses.
And next is Gozer.
I'm gonna say, Soft, what you do? Why you fly in the air? And I'm gonna walk over towards him and kind of like look around, see what I can see.
Why don't you roll me a perception check?
7.
Yeah, you kind of see the nothing new as you get up to him. Now the gems kind of flew out of his hand. They're kind of just in the dirt around him as he's picked himself up. And I don't know what's out there, King. What's happening?
I'm gonna just hold my axe and have my shield in front of me and just kind of look around, try and see what there is.
Okay. Do you also want to ready in action?
Yeah, if something attacks me or Thuft, I will swing wildly.
Okay. All right, Bryn. So you've just seen this rock hurl at you from this pile of stones now.
It's just still a pile of stones to Bryn, though.
They are there's some still that are levitating.
Okay. Are they like levitating? Describe to me. Are they like close together? Are they like 3 separate? Like what's?
Well, Webster's dictionary defines levitating as.
I know, but it's like, are these 3 rocks like together still in a cairn levitating, or like?
No, like you kind of, if you can picture this whole cairn just kind of pick up off the ground, and as the stones kind of like drift apart as they're just hanging in the air.
All I guess I'm trying to ask is, like, are they close together, like, in the shape of some being, like, holding it or something that's invisible that I could shoot at? You know what I mean?
It just looks like they're just kind of floating almost listlessly.
Can I do what they did? Is that a thing? I've never done it. Like, ready in action or whatever?
Yeah, so you want to ready in action if you see something, you want to
If I see
fire
or if another rock comes at me, right?
Well, it's kind of either or. If you can say, okay, if another rock is thrown at me, I want to fire like into the pile of rocks or near the pile of rocks.
Bryn's actually going to take a shot right at this pile of rocks.
Okay. So you do have disadvantage.
Because I don't see anything?
Because you don't see, yeah.
So my lowest attack roll is 14.
That is still a hit.
Alright. But I just have my normal attack, which is a D8, right?
Yeah. Plus your modifier.
9.
Okay. Yeah, and your arrow kind of still this unseen foe, but your arrow kind of hits into something kind of off to the right of where these rocks are.
She's like confused but still a little cocky after all this kill spree.
And back to Thuft at the top. And actually, now that Thuft has seen your arrow hit, he's actually just going to move up to kind of the general area where he saw your hit. Find purchase, and he's going to swing again. Still, though, with disadvantage, because can't see this thing. Misses the first one, and will use his bonus action. Missed the second one.
Oh, there, Thuft. Give me my
Shaft.
topaz.
Okay, I'm going to go up, what is it, about 30 feet away?
Yeah.
So I'll use my movement to get up there, and I'm going to attack with my rapiers. That is a 12.
Is that with disadvantage?
Nope. Oh, still 12?
That's a hit.
Oh, great. Okay. Then I'm going to do 8 points of damage. And for my second... I'm going to do my bonus action at this point. I can do that in the middle because I forgot, right? And do Hunter's Mark onto the pile of stone, I guess.
Well, okay, so what exactly is the spell text of Hunter's Mark?
So as a bonus action, you may choose a creature you can see within range.
Ooh, you
and
can't see
mystically
him, though.
mark.
You cannot see this creature.
Can't see him.
Okay, there, I won't do that. I'll just do my second attack then.
I suppose you could Hunter's Mark the rocks if you wanted.
Okay. You know what? I wouldn't know any different, right? I mean, I see these floating stones.
I think you could piece it together.
All right. 12 and a 10, so that would, let's see, 10, 16. And an 18, so 16.
Yeah, that's 16 hits.
Okay. 7 additional points of damage.
Okay. So that was 2 attacks, right?
Yep.
With your rapiers.
Yes.
So second attack being from 5th level, you do still have that offhand bonus action you could spend because you did not Hunter's Mark, right?
Right.
For a third attack.
So I could do a third attack. Thank you. With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That was a crit on the second one. That would be a 12.
That's still a hit.
12 points of damage on that one.
Wow, good job. And now you kind of feel in your chest shaft as this invisible force that lashes out at you only with a 13,
That does not hit. Nope.
which is a miss. But you do feel the distinct force of something pressing on your chest.
Like somebody is pressing on my chest?
Yeah,
a
like
hand?
if someone is like trying to punch you.
So I get the impression that there's something invisible.
That's right.
That is. Okay.
Gozer.
Stuff dropped the gems on the ground.
Yeah, they kind of scattered as he was thrown into the air.
Gozer's gonna pick up the 3 pearls.
Okay.
And that's it.
Bryn, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
I'm gonna aim my sparkly little bow at it, and is it still disadvantage?
It is.
Stink. Yeah, I definitely missed, because the first roll I got was a 4, so that's 10.
Yeah, that is a miss.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Okay, and back to Thuft. Thuft is going to just swing again. Thuft misses the first swing. And, he finally hits the second swing with his offhand weapon. Does 4 damage, which is just enough to kill this invisible
Of course it
force.
is.
Do we get to see him?
Like an outline of something fall on the ground.
Is it Falzaren? I'm just kidding.
Way to go, guys.
We're dilly-dallying with all these gems. It's probably Falzaren's ghost at this point.
So we didn't see anything that died, essentially.
No.
Right?
Nothing became visible or...
Let's crap, this is, these gems probably aren't worth the trouble when it comes right down to it.
Let's go scout some more.
Yeah, do we still see tracks for that lizard type guy?
don't you make me another survival check?
5. Gozer sees nothing.
14.
Yeah, you are able to pick up these tracks again. Shaft is the only one that is.
Let's keep pressing on.
What's on where? Track's gone.
No, they're right over here. Look.
No,
You
track's
see right
gone.
there?
No.
Hey. Okay, well, why don't you just follow me and not worry about the tracks?
Go.
I move on.
And as you continue on, you have really come into where the terrain has turned into this hilly terrain now, and you are kind of amongst kind of two crests on either side of you. You kind of still continuing with the track, but now you can kind of see ahead of you what looks to be like this opening to a cave in the side of one of these larger hills.
Hey, you see that cave up there? And I point at it.
Yes.
Hole in mountain.
Yeah, I get a sneaking suspicion that way be where Falzaren is. How far away is the cave?
It's probably maybe a few hundred feet off.
Remember what we said, Gozer?
No.
Sneaky?
Eh.
Oh.
So-
Those are tired sneaking.
Okay.
I say, let's try to get up within like 100 feet of this thing, and I got something I want to try.
Alright.
Okay, so you guys are still just under the effect of your Pass Without Trace spell, as it has not quite been an hour since you cast it, but getting pretty close to it. So why don't everybody can just make me a stealth check to kind of get closer to this entrance.
And it's a plus 10 on that, right?
That is a plus 10, yeah. Well, Thuff definitely needed it.
22?
Okay.
30.
Thuff got a 15.
26.
Okay, so you're all able to get as close as you need to be, as close as you want to be safely. And, kind of, since it's more like a group stealth, you kind of, again, not an explicit rule, but I think a lot of people like to just take almost, more passes than fails for a group of travelers. You kind of hand wave it a little bit. So you're able to get up to, what did you say, about 100 or so feet away from the entrance?
Yeah. So I wanna cast Locate Object. And it says, describe or name an object as familiar to you. Before I go any further with this description, could I describe or... can that object be Falzaren?
I don't believe that it can, because I think Locate Person is its own spell, is it not?
Oh, you could be right, yeah.
But I could argue that the wizard now belongs to Gozer, so...
You can argue it as long as you like, but you'd be wasting your breath.
So technically, could I describe something that Falzaren is wearing?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, so Locate Creature is its own spell, so that's what you would use instead. But yeah, you could like name like Falzaren's robes, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm going to assume he's... maybe it's a bad assumption. I'm going to assume he's not naked.
Even if he was naked with Izzy, his robe would be on the floor.
So, describe or name an object as familiar to you. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close, within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. The spell can't locate any object of any thickness of lead or even thin sheet. Blocks a direct path between you and the object. So I guess if he's behind some kind of lead sheet, some kind of Superman type of power thing.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm going to think about his robe, which is, as it says here, apparel.
Yeah.
Do I sense that he lasts for 10 minutes, and it takes an action to do it? I'd like to know if he is within that cave, within 1,000 feet of us.
Yeah, as you cast the spell, you do it pulls you in the direction of the mouth of this cave, and you do know his robes are not moving.
Okay, so you guys see me. This is verbal, somatic, and material. You see me move my hand, say a little thing, and I go, I know where he is. I think he's in here. Let's sneaky. How much time do we have left on our pass without a trace, you think?
Not long. I would say generously giving you 10 minutes.
Okay, so I say let's go and head into the cave.
Are you sure? Do we want to just walk in there, Chef?
Yeah, I mean, I've cast the spell that allows us to move silently, and I think we need to move with
Okay.
haste, because that was some time ago.
I'm worried about Gozer. She seems pretty tired, and you know how she gets when she's tired.
Yeah, killy.
I know. Tell me about
Gozer
it.
tired of being talked about like Gozer not here. And Gozer walks off towards the cave.
You're lucky you're secretly stealthy right now.
Okay, so Gozer, are you trying to be stealthy as you approach the mouth of this cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna
So-
tell them that.
Of course.
Aren't you tiptoeing to show us that you can be stealthy?
No. I am
Oh.
actually trying to be stealthy.
Okay, and Thuft is, of course, right with you. Okay, so everyone, why don't you roll me... Oh, God. Roll me another stealth check
My
here.
stealth is 34.
We still get the 10 bonus.
Yeah.
I'm at 32.
22.
Yes, girl.
Okay, good, because Thuft got a 12.
The
After
three of
the
us
plus
are
10?
pretty stealthy.
Yes, after
Oh
the plus.
no. That's bad.
Or, I guess a 14.
Oh no. For all you listeners, he's putting a map on roll 20 right now.
Yeah, we're gonna roll it. So you guys creep up to the entrance of this cave, and there's about maybe a 5 or 10 foot wide corridor that kind of is almost like it's cut into the side of this hill, and you see like right inside is this big door. It's fully blocking the entrance to this cave.
What's it made out of?
It's just like a wooden door with, kind of the lining of metal kind of hammered around it.
Is there a lock on it?
There is a lock on it, yeah.
A lock that Bryn could pick kind of lock on it?
Absolutely.
Alright guys, stand back. Just give me a second, and Bryn takes a deep breath and she tries to pick this lock.
Okay, so roll me a dexterity check, and you can add your proficiency modifier, because I assume you're using your thieves' tools.
Yep. And that is a 1 that I rolled. So how are we playing this?
Because
Because it would be a 7 if I add all my stuff, right? But that's why, we need to decide what we're doing.
I suggest we play this as a success.
I have stated before in an after party that I like the randomness of a critical fail or a critical success on skill checks, so this will certainly be a failure. And I will tell you, even if it was a 7, it would be a failure,
Okay.
as your lockpick kind of snaps off in the lock, in the keyhole of this door.
Oh man, does that mean my thieves' tools are, ruined permanently?
No, it just means, I'm sure it's a set, right? You just have...
Okay.
I'm sure you have...
Is this
plenty of lockpicks.
floor to ceiling type gate, or is there
It is.
Okay.
It looks as if it's like a normal door, like if it was inside of a building kind of thing.
I sheepishly look back at everybody well, I mean, at least you remember that I killed 2 ghosts, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? I'm just saying, I can't be good at everything.
Try again.
Am I allowed to try
Yeah.
again, Leland?
You, unfortunately, the critical fail, you can no longer try to pick this lock.
Of course. Yeah, no, I can't try again, guys. Sorry.
Do you have another pick in there? Let me see that bent one.
What kind of lock is it? Is it lock inside the door? Or is it like a padlock on the that could be?
It's like
top?
a keyhole. Like,
Ow.
Can I give it a shot? I just screw around with it and see if I can figure out how
Stick
to
your
make
rapier in there.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, could you give me the one you broke? Let me see if I can stick something there and try to figure it out.
Yeah, sure. I hand it over to Shaft.
You want to do that with disadvantage?
yeah, you make a dexterity check.
That would be with a dex. That would be a 12 for my lower roll.
You actually are able to clear the keyhole, but it does not unlock the door.
Oh,
Am I allowed to try again now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Alright, well, I mean, you cleared the stuff out, so hold on one second. Let's see. Let's try this again. And you said I add a dex modifier and proficiency? Right, so 6. So that's a 20 now.
Okay, yes, you do finally hear the click as this door unlatches.
Alright, Gozer, remember? Sneaky, sneaky.
I'm gonna push you aside.
And I'm slowly opening the door. So she probably, pushes me in.
I will say that your path without trace is now gone.
Okay. Yeah, I can't cast that again. I only had 2.
I'm gonna try and look in the door. I'm not opening the door anymore. I'm just gonna look in what is currently open.
So how far are you opening it?
2 foot. Enough to get my head around.
You got a big head.
As you kind of peer at this hallway, or this hallway I say, but this opening that's kind of extends another 10 feet or so, and then you can tell that it opens up into a wider area, and you can actually it is completely dark. You don't detect any light in here, but of course you have your dark vision, and you can see that from this little crack, you just see this back wall. You kind of see this bookshelf kind of set against what you can see, this narrow field of vision.
You said there's no light in there at all?
There's no light.
I put my goggles on.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door just wide enough to slip in. Quietly.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Ah, I got a 20. I crit it.
Okay, you get right in there. And I would imagine even Bryn is surprised at how quiet you.
Bryn's like, yes, she's listening to me. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Alright, Bryn follows.
Amazing. She might yell how quiet she's being.
Yeah, right.
Gozer's not a complete idiot. She's walking into a very powerful person's lair.
Bryn wants to cower right behind Gozer and just keep going.
Okay, anyone that's following can make their own dex check. Gozer, do you want Thuff to come with you?
You're saying dex checked or stealth check?
Stealth. So yeah,
Okay.
Stealth.
My stealth is 24.
17.
All right, Thuff gets a 16.
I would expect Thuff to be pretty much by my side.
Sure.
Pretty sweet to roll 2d20 every stealth check, I gotta say. It's pretty awesome. Oh no, what are we looking at?
So you guys get into this smallish chamber, and there's no signs of life in it. But as you kind of walk right in, it opens up to either side, and to your right there's what kind of looks like this large bed, and more of these bookshelves kind of lined with what look like kind of dusty books and other kind of types of trinkets. Immediately in front of you there's what looks like a stone staircase that leads down, and on the left wall of this kind of roughly square-shaped chamber, you see a familiar-looking door frame set into the stone.
Ooh, the portal.
Along with a large, long wooden table with a big bowl kind of set upon it.
Do I recognize any of this?
Yes, Shaft, you recognize for sure the table and the bowl.
How big is this table?
Table is about 15 feet long.
Damn.
Can I go to the the end closer to the door, and pull it in front of the door to block it?
Like the wooden frame?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely try. It will certainly make noise.
I'm not gonna do that.
This wooden frame reminds us of what we saw in Izzy's cave, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks near identical.
And in your acknowledgement, I'm going to admit that you just acknowledged it was Izzy's cave. That has not been said on mic yet. It's pretty
Sure,
obvious.
you have
but-
not yet confirmed it.
Bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
Is it, it's pretty quiet, I assume, right?
Well, you guys are all very quiet, but you actually kind of do hear the kind of low murmur and echo of voices coming down this set of stone stairs. You can't quite make out exactly what's being said, but there certainly sounds like there's life down wherever this leads.
Bryn would like to address the guys and say, like, you guys, you know I'm the stealthiest. Like, maybe I could creep down these stairs and peer around the corner and sort of see what we're getting into.
I'm all for it.
Gozer's gonna walk over to the stairs.
Gozer, just, can Are you okay with standing up here for a second?
Gozier's gonna walk to the top of the stairs.
Okay, Gozer, let me go. You stay right there at the top of the stairs. Perfect. You're in the great... Yeah. Quiet. Yeah, okay, you're in the right spot. Stay right there. Let me just sneak down here real quick and just see what we're walking into, okay? And, like, without even an answer, Bryn goes down the stairs to try to see what she sees.
And now we'll kind of go back to Falzaren.
My. I must say, I'm quite pleased you're still alive.
And you can see Falzaren still conscious as these pulses. They've seemed to slow, though, these jolts. But Isabella comes walking back into the far end of this cave, kind of down this flight of stairs you see her descend. And the podium, though, now, even though these pulses have slowed and whatever is coming out of you, the whole podium seems to be now like filled with this green light, and it's completely glowing, aside from the very kind of this layer, like the very top of it, where all these levers and these buttons are.
How do I feel? Do I feel like I'm losing my essence or my strength?
You feel very drained. You're suffering from 5 levels of exhaustion. Honestly, it's a wonder that you are still awake. Barely the strength to even kind of thrash against your restraints. You're just almost kind of this waking, comatose kind of thing. But as she approaches you, you notice something kind of new on her. She's got this necklace around her neck that she wasn't wearing before. It's kind of this leather string with these 7 red marble-sized beads hanging from it. And kind of in the crook of one arm, she has what you instantly recognize to be as your spellbook.
Oh, great.
I've been alive far beyond what my current visage may imply. Somebody like you, Falzaren, touched by such intriguing magic, they come along very rarely.
What intriguing magic are you talking about? I've studied long and hard to learn the spells that I've learned, and I mean, you can see by my spellbook that you have helped yourself to there. These are spells that many other people know. What do you mean?
Well, I couldn't fathom the number of instances in which you came by this, but something inside of you, something you've been imbued with, I'm fascinated by it. Maybe you could shed some light on it for me.
What do you plan on doing with my spellbook? I need that back.
Well, yes, and I would freely give it to you, along with perhaps this nice trinkety necklace I have around my neck. I'm quite impressed with your constitution. I think we can maybe strike up a deal here.
I'm all ears. I mean, I'm not liking whatever you're doing to me right now, so let's get me out of this. What do you want from me?
Well, I want you to join me, I've said the whole time. I wasn't entirely being untruthful with you.
Okay.
You and I, we can continue to do great things.
What sort of things do you keep saying this, that we can do great things? What are you trying to do? What do you want to do? What are you up to?
Well, like you, I'm simply a seeker of the arcane knowledge. And I think with you and I, and my sister, of course, the 3 of us, together we can access even more powerful spells and amazing artifacts. What do you think of that? The sound of that?
I mean, you maybe already know, maybe I've said it before when we've been together, but I am definitely interested in acquiring and learning more magic. But I guess, at what cost? What are you asking of me? And what do you have to offer?
The cost would simply be some form of fealty. There is one particular errand you would have to run for me. But appearances can be deceiving, and you may think very ill of me currently, especially in the predicament that I've orchestrated and thrown you into. And again, my apologies, my dear Mr. Abbs. But, I mean, perhaps even this necklace. Something so simple could hold so much power. Each bead,
She kind of plucks one up, not quite detaching it, but she motions towards it.
each bead hiding the destructive force of a fireball. One of many things that can be yours. That can be ours, Falzaren.
Did you just say fireball?
Oh, an entire necklace of fireball, in fact.
Really?
There is one small problem, however. As I alluded to, the rule of 3. You would make 4. One of my sisters would have to be relieved of her position.
Oh? What do you mean by relieved?
Well, I mean, I would never fathom to tell you how to do this errand, should you choose to go about it, but she would need to leave our little group, so you could fill the vacant position.
I see. So it's you and your 2 sisters right now, which makes 3. And 4th wouldn't make 4. A 4th wouldn't be the right group size you're interested in, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm afraid that may make a power imbalance in the other sisters. They may not take too kindly. And then it would be possibly 2 on 2, but with you and I, why, we would have the majority.
I see.
As we do like to make decisions as a group when possible, but it's always good to have an ally in those decisions.
I can appreciate that. Now, Isabella, you're saying that appearances, some of the things you're saying are a bit archaic. Appearances can be deceiving, and that you're much older than you appear. What do you mean? What's going on here? Are you disguised? You have some sort of charm on yourself?
She just kind of smiles and chuckles, and she kind of waves her hand in front of her, and this facade that she's clearly magically been putting on kind of fades away, and suddenly before you stands, like the size of an ogre, this kind of hunched over, ugly, clearly female thing, just this hulking monster, and this dark gray skin and long claws and even longer arms.
Yeah, well, yes, this... Please don't be alarmed at my true form.
Oh, what? Wow, Isabella. That's... I mean, I don't want to offend you, but... Holy crap. What are you?
Well, I am... As I said, I have been along for a long time. Us hags, we have an immortal lifespan. Should you spend your years correctly. A span that could be yours as well.
I think I've read of your kind, actually.
Why don't you make me an Arcana check?
Okay. That's a adjusted 20.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely read about this. It's hags in general are very prolific. Mythical, not in the sense that they don't exist, but like legends of being told of them. And you now it kind of clicks seeing her form like this group she's speaking of. She's speaking of her coven, this coven of hags that very rarely could a wizard such as yourself of specific power levels may be invited to join. It's certainly very, very uncommon, but maybe you've come across a legend or two of infamous or famous, depending on what side of the mirror you're looking into, of these wizards of old that have struck up these bargains with hags.
Okay.
So this is kind of this revelation you're kind of coming to. She kind of takes her nails and peels off this large scab off of her arm, and it just kind of starts oozing this dark ichor-looking blood, and she kind of takes it in both hands and starts rubbing it together, and these little scab pieces start to flake off, and fall to this cavern floor. And she just kind of lets drop from her hand after a few seconds of this. And what once was the scab is now this dull gray amulet hanging from a silver chain that's now pinched between Isabella's thumb and forefinger. And you can kind of see as it's dangling in front of you, it has this shallow depression on the front of it, as if something can be set into it. And she kind of waves her hand across her again, and her form shimmers and like shrinks, and the human Isabella form you're more acquainted with is standing before you once more.
Well, this is quite the revelation. I'll admit I did not see this coming, Isabella.
Well, I'm quite adept at hiding my appearance. I mean, I've had to be over the years, the centuries.
I see that. You're right. You certainly had me fooled, and I think perhaps the rest of the group I was adventuring with. So, look, I'm not liking what's going on here. I don't know what energy you're trying to sap out of me. I don't like the fact that I have this thing stabbed into my chest. What kind of deal can we strike here? I don't want this, this wire and this dagger thing sucking any more life out of me.
Oh, yes, of course.
And she kind of grabs onto it again and pulls it out of you. And the wound kind of left by this now kind of melted crystalline dagger just kind of instantly kind of seals over and forms this now pretty gnarly looking scar kind of down the center of your chest. And she kind of takes it back over to the podium and sets it down. Pulls out the other end that she stabbed into the podium as well and just kind of casts them aside.
That part is over with now. You'll recover. You'll certainly recover. As I said, I'm surprised you're still alive. But if you could survive this, then you're quite hardy indeed.
Now, before we go on, what does Falzaren know about how powerful someone like her would be if I were to try and fight her?
You know that in what could be loosely called hag society, that there are certainly different varying power levels of hags, kind of ranging from your normal kind of base level hag. There's a kind of this hierarchy that they form. A kind of mid-tier hag would be referred to each other as like an auntie, and kind of at the top, like they would be like a grandmother. So it's you can't quite tell really what tier Isabella would be at, just by looking at her.
Okay. Theoretically, if she were the weakest or the mid-tier, how powerful? What could I compare that power level to? As far as, I guess she had the manual flesh golems, which required 5th level. I think it was.
It required the user of it to have access
5th level spell slot.
2 5th level spell slots,
which is level 9.
Which is
right?
Higher than a level 9,
I
believe.
Okay. So that's quite a bit more powerful than me. So I can assume that much. And I have no spell slots left.
Assuming that she was even able to use it.
Right. I don't have my spell book. And I don't have spell slots. Even if I did have my spell book. And I don't have the ability to make any motions with my hands at the moment because I'm strapped in.
Right, you're effectively incapacitated.
Yeah. I could only cast a spell that only requires a verbal component.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm screwed.
Well, and again, she's kind of thrown these melted daggers aside.
Now, I wouldn't want to rush you into a decision without having all of the information, of course. As this necklace will certainly imbue you with the power that you will need to join us. And of course, I would be happy to give you this necklace of fireball as well. In addition to your spellbook, as I would need you at full power, of course. But, and able to really initiate you again, the rule of 3, you'd have to dispatch of my sister Isabella Goode. She's kind of poorly passing for human up north in Pisces, and is heavily associating with a halfling by the name of Danzig. You would have to seek her out and again get her to either leave the coven of her own free will or dispatch of her in some other way.
I see. So, you're offering me this necklace which will, it sounds like, allow me to cast a fireball spell, which I have read much about and am very eager to be able to cast. I like the sounds of that. And you have another item there which will imbue me with some amount of extra power. And you're offering me a spot in this organization or a little pact that you have. What is it, a coven that you referred to it as?
Well, I never said coven, but clearly you know your history and your lore on us. But yes, my coven, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, with joining the coven, of course, comes a myriad of coven spells you would gain access to as well.
Really?
As you see, we all benefit from it.
Okay. You've got my attention.
I quite simply put, I offer you power. And
Yes,
knowledge.
magical power, it seems, which perhaps you are a good judge of character, because that's certainly something I'm interested in. And all that you want from me is to keep the total group number at 3 by dealing with this sister of yours one way or another, however I see fit.
Well, that's your ticket for entry, you could say. But of course, you would be part of the coven. You'd have to operate as part of the coven. Should the coven's will be pointed towards a particular task or another, then you would be expected to partake.
Oh, I see. So potentially ongoing.
Why, you would be part of the family, Falzaren. The family sticks together, do they not?
Yes, they do. What does the family think about the Paladins of Cultus?
Ah, well, even the family may answer to higher, more dangerous powers. And I'm afraid you're not quite privy to all of that information yet, but again, with the coven comes knowledge.
I'm not really liking the feeling I'm getting from that answer, Isabella. Are you telling me that you are potentially... I guess, let me ask a question. Are you for or against the Paladins of Cultus?
I suppose, through my actions, one could say I am for the Paladins of Cultus. But I do assure you it is a means to an end.
I see. So it seems like ideologically, you're not necessarily aligned with the Paladins of Cultus, but perhaps you are getting some benefit from them that helps further your own means.
I am aligned with the coven,
I see.
and the coven alone.
Okay. And what if I refuse your offer?
Well, there are certainly more podiums to fill once I've used the energy I've extracted. Should you continue to live, then you will continue to be used.
So you have no intention of letting me go if I
Oh.
refuse you?
No, as I say, I will use you in whichever way I can, and whether or not the option A is willingly, or option B by force, I'm afraid I have to do either one.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems that I don't have much of a choice, and I'll be honest, I am very intrigued with the things you're offering in order for me to join this coven. I really like the looks of that necklace of fireball, and the other, what did you say it was? It was an amulet?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what that's going to offer me, but it sounds like it's going to increase my ability to use magic. That sparks my interest as well.
Right. The amulets will also serve as a connection between you and I.
I see. And I'll get access to more types of magic, more spells perhaps, through the knowledge that the coven.
Oh yes, many more.
What of my friends?
Well, I have no use for them. There's no room in the coven for them.
That's fair. Do you have objections to me continuing on with them, granted that I'm able to fulfill my responsibilities to the coven?
Oh, why, you can come and go as you see fit. In fact, we can set you up with your own lair of sorts, should you so choose. Every good coven member should have one.
I mean, I'm looking around, and this certainly does look like not a bad little place you have set up here. These pillars and the nice smooth stone floor. It's a bit of an upgrade from the last place that I stumbled across. It is quite impressive.
Yes, well, unfortunately, you did catch me in between places in that previous one. As this is where I enjoyed calling home. Yes, but of course, your place can take any form that you see fit. The coven has resources.
Interesting. Well, I think I have no choice but to accept your offer, and to be honest, it is an appealing offer. I hope that I can convince your sister to leave willingly, because I don't like to use force unnecessarily.
Yes, one does not enjoy getting their hands dirty. I know, it's why we have servants, even if we have to craft them at great expense to ourselves to enact our greater plans.
Yes. I assume that's why you were using the manual flesh golems.
Yes, well, the experimentation with the manuals did not quite go as well and as fast as I had hoped and as some people had demanded. Your abduction, of course, will solve those problems for me for the short term anyway. But together we may not even have to kowtow to the paladins.
I would certainly be for that. I'll be honest with you, Isabella, I don't have a good feeling about these paladins. I don't think they're up to any good. I certainly think what evidence I do have that's obviously that's obvious to anyone living in the land here in Aspara is that they're, wherever their towers are built, there's destruction in their wake. And I don't like that. So if I'm able to join you and we're able to dispatch with any association with the paladins, I would be for that. Perhaps getting is this manual of any use to you anymore, do you think? Or are you...
No. That is, in the grand scheme, quite inconsequential.
Okay, fair enough.
So, should you accept my offer, then?
I think I will.
She holds up the amulet to you. And she kind of moves to place it on you.
Okay, so I lean my head forward.
Okay, and she drapes it over your neck as it kind of falls down, and it immediately, upon coming to a rest, it just starts to like shake and vibrate, and out from it kind of these spindly legs sprout from either side of it. It jabs into your chest, and the chain kind of snaps at the back of your neck and retracts into it, and it kind of melds and molds into the flesh of your chest, and as if it's like become a part of you.
Goodness, there's a lot of chest stabbing going on.
A lot of little body horror going on around here.
Yeah. Okay. So what? How do I feel?
So you do kind of feel almost rejuvenated, but kind of different. 4 levels of exhaustion are instantly removed, leaving you with 1 level. This amulet now, it immediately increases your charisma stat to 16.
Oh, okay.
And you kind of almost feel now this certainly tenuous, but like this kind of underlying connection now that you feel with Isabella. Almost something like almost indescribable and almost as if it's not there, but like kind of in the periphery, like you can just sense it.
Did you say 16?
Yeah.
Whole... What? All right. That's a significant bump.
It is a good bump. Izzy's got the mojo.
Dang. All right. So, my charisma, I'm feeling very charismatic.
Yep.
And I've got sort of like a connection to
It's Isabella.
this hag.
Now, as you can see, there is a bit of an indent there. Do you still have that iron token I gave you? As well, I do know. No, you don't have it on you. As clearly I searched you. She still holds your spell book.
I can probably get it back.
Should you recover it, yes. Should you recover it, just place it in to this amulet now. Now, part of you. And you and I will be able to converse over vastly longer distances than this simple token.
Okay. I suppose it will be helpful being able to communicate with another member of this group, this coven.
Oh, yes, and should you get final initiation, why? I assume you noticed our little portal in that first cave you had ventured into. Why?
Yes.
You would have access to this travel network as well.
Yes, I couldn't quite figure out how that portal worked.
Oh, it simply takes the proper command phrase.
And there's more of them around Aspara.
Oh yes, we have entries in many different places.
Okay.
I tell you, our coven has great influence.
Well, I'm eager to see what membership to this coven is going to offer me.
Yes, and I do weep for Erica, as she's about to be shunned, for lack of a better term, but she never was a team player. But you, myself, and Jessica, why? We will form the strongest coven that Aspara's ever seen.
In the chamber at the top of the long stone stairs, the shadowy toad, the giant toad, is standing vigilant over the entrance to this cave as it witnesses the door slowly and soundlessly swing open, disappears, poofs into the shadows, and travels down the stairs and appears next to Isabella. And she kind of cocks her head without a sound. She kind of turns back to Falsey.
Well, it appears we have visitors. I must warn you, your companions are expendable should they interfere. Use them until they are no longer useful if you must, but your loyalties now lie with the coven.
So, if no one else is following, then just Bryn will give me a stealth check.
24.
So as you're able to get down this flight of stairs, it's like it's a very lengthy flight of stairs as it kind of goes down, and then there's a bit of like a landing as it twists, and then even another longer set of stairs just kind of going down, and you're able to get to the end of it, and you see that it opens up into this much larger chamber, and in here you do see a bit of light.
Ooh, what am I looking at?
What looks like to be a dark green glow coming from the back of this chamber, and you see immediately to your right and left a row, kind of two rows of tables that have these dirty sheets thrown over some type of mass being covered here, and at the very end you see Falzaren strapped to this wooden table that's kind of slanted at a 45-degree angle. As his wrists and ankles are bound, and he's got another leather strap across his chest, and Isabella Goode is standing before him.
Does he look like he's willingly doing this, like S&M style, or?
Well, from your vantage point, it's a little difficult to tell.
Okay. Can I do a perception to see if I can tell what's under these covered tables?
Sure.
Or something? Whatever you want me to check, but... 18.
So you, unless you want to try to sneak up to one and peek under it, it's kind of difficult to tell, but the shapes do look human-sized. They don't look like overly large. They're They're all kind of on their own wooden tables that are lying flat. But you do notice kind of a series of what look like thick tubules, like wires, running from whatever is underneath these sheets, kind of down to the ground and up towards where this green light is coming from. And you see the source of this green glow looks like it's some type of like podium or pedestal that's kind of off to Falzaren's left, but of course your right. And Isabella, just kind of, you see her move towards Falzaren, and they're kind of speaking in kind of a hushed tone, but...
Okay, I would like to go to this closest table and like peek underneath the sheet. Do they they're not moving, right? Whatever's under the sheet?
No, they don't. They're not moving.
Okay. Yeah, I want this one right here. I don't know how to do the pingy thing, but like the closest to me.
Okay, make another stealth check.
18.
And as you creep up there and you pull back the sheet, you kind of get it, lift it far enough where you uncover like a foot before behind you can hear,
Of course.
the steps. And as you turn and look over your shoulder, this toad thing is again standing behind you
Frick.
as it attempts to grapple you.
And that's our show. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. For your own musical inquiries, contact jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All other music and ambient noise is courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Visit criticalhitdesign.com for all of your graphic design needs. You can find more info on the characters and world at incorrigibleparty.com. Enjoying the show? Have any questions or rules corrections? Email us, contact@incorrigibleparty.com, or reach out on social media. The Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram, @IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, using the hashtag AfterPartyIP for a shout out during our behind the screen after party episodes that drop every 4th release. Happy adventuring!